Thank you, Dolly, for joining us today. We want to ask an important question because we're from Clark County Genealogical and we're celebrating 50 years of family history search in Clark County. So today we want to know, where were you and what were you doing in 1972?
50 years ago, I must have been very young. No, actually, I was out of college. I had been teaching in Eugene, Oregon at high school level, and I transferred to St. Mary's, which is in downtown Portland. It was a delight because my mom and aunt had both gone to St. Mary's, as had my sister and myself. I was living on College Street in southwest Portland, so there was a huge hill going up to our house. My two roommates, who were also teachers, and I would walk down to school, and we realized that going back up that hill to the apartment was very strenuous. So we started to use it as a training ground. When I wasn't training on that hill, I was driving a little VW Bug around town, got to go see my family and go to family reunions, which was great. And after I'd been there a year, I even started to teach my own younger sister. So that was fun. But the result of all that teaching and all that climbing the hill was that in 1972, in June, I climbed Mount Hood.
Wow.
No other mountain in the world. I haven't done all the highest mountains, just Mount Hood, and that was enough.
So after the climbing Mount Hood, what did you do then? How did you move from the Portland area where your family was to the Vancouver area?
Well, I eventually went to Seattle to teach at a business college, met my husband in Seattle. We went to Spokane for 40 years and then came back to the Portland area. My husband is a dyed-in-the-wool Washingtonian and would not move to Portland, but he would go to Vancouver. So we have a delightful home right by Fort Vancouver. The Genealogy Society was just down the street, a half mile away, and not on a hill. It was easy to get there. So I joined them and started to help my family organize our history. Since my grandparents are all from Europe, it was a wonderful hobby, and it still is.
So what you're saying is you're both your grandparents and both your parents are European born.
All my grandparents,
All your
yes.
grandparents.
Uh-huh.
So your parents arrived in the New World because your grandparents moved to the New World.
Yes.
Oh, and then everybody settled in the kind of the Portland area.
And the immediate family settled in the Northwest, yes.
But you have cousins and you've discovered more family.
My
spread.
great-grandpa came over with two of his brothers, so there's quite an extended family on that side. My other grandfather, who came from Croatia, moved here at the tender age of 13, stowing away on a boat, and then getting across the country to come meet his older brother, who was a commercial fisherman in the West.
Wow, that's wonderful. You know, I know you've been in the Genie Society for a number of years, but Croatia is not the usual source of our ancestry when we are sitting around the table talking about, family came from here. What have you found searching for records in the Croatia area? Isn't that the Adriatic?
Actually, Croatia, yes, is right across the Adriatic from Italy. Many Italians go there on vacation. My grandfather was born on a small island of only about 200 people, which is probably why he came over here. He was the youngest of 8 and did not have very many prospects at home. The biggest problem I found is that language has nothing to do with the languages which we find slightly familiar to ourselves, like French or Spanish. It's a totally different mindset, and I have gotten many fantastic things from my family, but not the talent of studying foreign languages, so that's been the worst part.
That's been a real challenge. Well, it's so lovely to speak to you today, and thank you for stopping by and letting us share your story. Thanks, Dolly.
Great fun, and I'll see you at the picnic.
Oh, thanks.